An interesting thing about The Sopranos to me is that you couldn't imagine it taking place anywhere else or any other state. It would be completely different if it took place in Kansas or Florida or California. Not only is it one of my favorite shows, but as a native New Jerseyan, it holds a special place in my heart and to the rest of the state as part of the cultural identity of the state. I wanted to put this video together of 10 details in the show that I believe only New Jersey natives would understand. I mean, obviously other people can understand them too, but what I mean is I was watching the show and someone would drop a little detail or mention a place in a line and I would say, oh, yeah, I've been there. I've done that. Let's start this list off with the first entry that inspired me to make this whole video in the first place.
So you hear about that guy in Westchester? Fucking captain, doing his own radio broadcast for the last 3 years.
WRAT.
Jesus Christ, another one now. No wonder the papers are calling us the year of the rat.
When the guy calls the ratting captain a WRAT and says he's broadcasting his signals, I was like, wait a minute, you're talking about The Rat, the radio station down in the Jersey Shore area. And I actually interned there one summer during college. 95.9, The Rat. Speaking of radio stations...
New York's classic rock, Q1043. Good morning, I'm Jim Kerr. Coming up a little bit later on the Q.
So the classic rock station Q1043 is not based in New Jersey, but it's based in New York City, but we get the signal here. The Q has been one of my favorite radio stations since forever, just plays good old classic rock, and Jim Kerr is one of their most popular DJs, so that's not like anything made up for the show, that's an actual DJ they got to do a part for the show. And funny enough, the song they're playing here, I've never heard the Q play that song. So obviously this was just an artistic decision for the show. But yeah, I've never heard them play the Vanilla Fudge cover of You Keep Me Hanging On. It's not in the repertoire of the same 30 songs. Speaking of New York City, in this scene where Paulie is having a meeting with Johnny Sack, there's a large boat that goes by in the background. That boat is the Sea Streak Ferry. It's a commuter boat that takes people from New Jersey to New York, Manhattan, and back and forth. This particular route I know because I've been on that boat on that route many times. I believe that's going up to the 35th Street Pier on the east side of Manhattan. I've been on the top deck and you go under the bridges. It's pretty cool. You get a nice view.
Look, Mom, this whole thing about working between now and start of class is all about you being pissed because I'm interned at the Papermill Playhouse this summer.
So in this line, when Meadow mentions the Papermill Playhouse, that actually is a playhouse in New Jersey. It's where it's a stage, it's a theater, it's where many different performances take place. It's a famous place. It's been there a long time, and it's actually not too far. It's only like 10 or 12 miles from where the Sopranos live, so it totally makes sense that Meadow would intern there.
John Schwinn.
Oh, bicycle, eh?
Unfortunately, no relation. I was just a foot soldier at Bell Labs.
Well, you guys invented stereo.
Ah, here we go. John Schwinn, my favorite little one-off character. He says he was a foot soldier at Bell Labs, and Tony says, oh, you guys invented stereo, and he gives a little, yeah, we did. Well, that's because Bell Labs is a real place. If you've never seen it, the facility is crazy. It's huge. It's a beautifully designed building, too. Apparently it's designed by some famous architect. I don't know much about that, but you look it up. So back in the day, Bell Labs, the telephone communication company, had a corporate research and development station in Homedale, New Jersey, called Bell Labs, which is what he's referring to here. So not only did they discover stereo, like Tony mentions, but they also basically invented the cell phone there, and they also discovered the background radiation, which permeates throughout the entire universe, which helped in the development of the Big Bang hypothesis. So it was a really important place. I'm sure there were other important discoveries there that I don't know about, but those are the two I know off the top of my head. So it's no longer used by Bell Labs. There's no more laboratories there. It's a really cool facility if you ever go and see it. And I think you can go in it now because it's been repurposed to be a shopping center or a food court or doctor's offices, something. But the public can go in it now. So in season 1, when Paulie and Big Pussy and Christopher are robbing this guy and then kill him, they're wearing hats and jumpsuits that say Navesink. So Navesink is a town right next to where I grew up. I actually went to Navesink Elementary School as a kid.
Bingo!
And the town name Navesink, or some say Navesink, I always said Navesink, but it's named after the local Native American tribe that used to inhabit it. In this scene in season 2, where Adriana convinces Christopher to leave early, play hooky, and go down to the shore.
And if it is your executive decision to go down the shore, fuck it.
Yeah.
Yo, Matthew. I gotta take a meeting down in Mantaloking. Keep things in control here.
Word up.
Well, Mantaloking is a place down in the Jersey Shore. Funny enough, I've never really known anyone that if you're going to the beach, no one says, I'm going to Mantaloking Beach. No one, you go to like Sandy Hook or Seaside or Wildwood or something. Another funny thing for me that adds to the lame excuse Christopher is giving this guy that he has a meeting down in Mantaloking is that I've never heard of people taking meetings down in Mantaloking. It's a thin strip of land right on the Jersey Shore filled with a bunch of very large and expensive homes, and they're all privately owned. That's just a shitty excuse on Christopher's end. He's just getting out of work for the day. There's no meeting in Mantaloking. But of course, we as the audience knew that, and I only picked up on that after my 10th watch, so yeah. Speaking of the Jersey Shore, the last time I was watching the Whitecaps episode, this particular shot stuck out and was bothering me. Why? Well, assuming they were driving down from their house in Caldwell, which I'm guessing they were because they had AJ in the car with them and probably picked him up and drove down, the direction they're coming from doesn't make any sense. In that particular shot, the car would have been coming up from the south. They would have had to have gone south past Whitecap's house, come up around in a different town or something. Maybe they stopped for gas, maybe they got lunch, I don't know. They can come from any direction. But if you're making a straight trip from the Sopranos house down to the Whitecap's house, it makes absolutely no sense that you would be going that way. It would just add time and miles to your trip. So yeah, that was sticking out to me. Last one on my list today is also from the episode Whitecaps.
Tony, I don't feel well.
You get some sea air. We'll stop at bars. You won't have to cook.
God damn it. Yeah, I really want lobster.
When Tony mentions to Carmela, let's go eat at Bars, he's referring to Bars Landing, which is a restaurant down in the Sandy Hook, Jersey Shore area, and it's really not far from the Whitecaps house at all, so it makes perfect sense location-wise that they'd be going there. I've never actually eaten at Bars. Maybe I should go try it at some point. But one thing that is not accurate, that was sticking out to me, is that in the Super Bowl commercial, in this particular shot here, Meadow is driving up from the south. I mean, she can come from any direction she wants. Maybe she stopped for gas or something. I don't know. Well, maybe not because it's an electric vehicle here in the commercial. Whatever, I'm overthinking that. But that is a very inefficient way to get there. She basically came south, past Bars Landing, went down a different town, across the bridge, and then came back up. Makes no sense. See, that's why you need New Jersey natives like myself to explain the really important details in the show, to help you understand the finer points and get what the show is really about, which is proper geography. Well, that's all for today. If you've made it this far, I appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this. All right. I'm done. Bye.